Welcome to the squad. He's Icewater, I'm Puma. Do us a solid. Subscribe, like, comment on our page right here on YouTube. Let's get right into it. NBA, man, it's Christmas in July again. Free agency, trades, folks signing on to teams. What are the teams and trades and different moves that really kind of stood out? Because I know what stood out for me, and I'm going to say this. I know teams aren't loyal, but the Milwaukee Bucks have to be the most unloyal team in the NBA. How you gonna cut a guy who's hurt, who got hurt trying to fight for you? I don't get that. I don't get that. And one of the things that I really realized that somebody brought up on social media, every guy that wears the number 0 had the same injury in the playoffs, man. Halliburton, Tatum, Dillard, all these guys that wear 0, ban that number because y'all going down with those injuries, man. And I don't think it's a coincidence. Your thoughts, bro?
Yeah, man, I could be all over the place. I'm gonna hit them real quick. One of the teams I thought really improved or helped themselves, you're gonna be surprised, is the Atlanta Hawks,
Yes.
right? Atlanta Hawks, and you think about picking up Porzingis.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was huge for them, particularly if he can stay healthy. But then they also helped themselves by picking up Luke Kennard and Alexander Walker, who can run the point. So with all that being said, the reason why I think they did well is because you need to surround somebody like Trae Young with a bunch of pieces, right? He can score a lot of points. We know that. But in order for them to be a decent team, they need to surround him with solid pieces. And I think they did that well, particularly if Porzingis can be healthy. Definitely on that.
I think Denver helped themselves out quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted to get rid of Porter. They didn't know how. They finally did, and then brought in a player that could really help them. I think Milwaukee, I don't know what the Greek Freak is going to do because they're making changes. It's going back and forth that Dame Dillard said, hey, Antetokounmpo knew what was going on and didn't let him know, didn't give him a heads up. So I could see this guy just really kind of rehabbing. I mean, with some fury to get back in the league and get back at folks who didn't believe in him. But the Lakers picking up Ayton, and they're praising that they got the pick of the summer. And I'm like, this guy can't stay on the court. He really can't produce. And even, your boy from Phoenix said, hey, man, you guys think you got a prize. You're going to find out that you got a dud.
Yeah, no doubt. And when you look at the Lakers, there was a lot of holes in there in regards to the center position. Also, too, the lack of being able to push forward when they needed buckets. LeBron's getting older. There was an issue with defense. Luka's defense issues is going on for a long time. People know that. So I agree with you there. I'm not sure if that's the answer. I don't think it's the answer. I think it's opening the door for a lot of other things. But otherwise, real quick, I want to jump on a couple other things before we jump into that Lakers situation. I also think Denver, as you said, Denver did real well. And the reason why I say Denver did well is because of the factor that they went out and picked up some reserve pieces or some pieces of people that can fill in. And that's when they're most dangerous. They have the core group of players that can do the thing as far as the Joker is concerned and whatnot. But they needed other guys that can come in off the bench and do well. So they went back and got you got Bruce Brown came back. They picked up Tim Hardaway Jr., which I think is really nice. And Cam Johnson in the right situation can do well compared to losing Michael Porter Jr., which I think was a big thing they needed to do. They needed to move on from him because of his injuries and just the way sometimes he didn't show up. So kudos to them for making that move. Another team, of course, people go, oh, I don't know. I think the Dallas Mavericks, even though the Luka trade and whatnot, did a hell of a job. So Kyrie Irving was supposed to be a free agent after next year. They re-signed him through a 3-year deal at a lesser price. Then they moved off of that, and they were able to sign D'Angelo Russell. I'm telling you right now, I know the Laker fans are mad. He didn't do whatever. They say he hasn't stepped up, but there's not too many players that can run a team, serve well in his role, and he's just a smart basketball player, particularly when he's motivated. And playing again back with Anthony Davis and also Max Christie, I think he's going to do well for them. And Kyrie, even if Kyrie doesn't come back next year, I think it's going to be a great stepping stone for them in next 2 years and whatnot. And the other main thing too is from the standpoint of picking up Dante Exum, picking him up.
I always liked him. I always liked him.
Yeah, he was in Dallas before. And the main thing for me is the fact that they made moves and they did not have to give up either Gafford or Lively. They kept them both. And down low, that's going to be major. And then, of course, let's talk about Cooper Flag. I think all the way around, they're going to be dangerous. They're going to be dangerous when they get their full circle coming around.
I may be on the side of an unpopular opinion here. I don't think KD really helps Houston. I don't think that trade really helps Houston. I think they should have kept that young core together. I don't think KD is going to really help them get over that hump. I really don't. And I'm looking at also the Knicks. The Knicks really helped themselves out with a couple of players that are dogs. And they picked up Mike Brown as a coach. The announcement, I guess, is coming out pretty soon. And he has a lot to really kind of cook over there with the Knicks and taking over for Tibbs over there. Tibbs left him with a full cupboard. I think they need to make some more deals to strengthen up that bench. But I think they did themselves a favor with getting a couple of dogs. But yeah, the Houston trade to me is like, why would you pick up KD? It's like he's following the footsteps of Russell Westbrook and James Harden. And I guess that's the breeding ground there, where you pick up the old OKC players and you tussle with them for 2 years, and then you're going to leave them. I think KD is like 37, 36, 37 years old. And there are a lot of aging NBA players right now that they're paying a lot of money to that I don't see. They're not going to kind of bust a grape when it comes to getting them into championship form or going far in the playoffs. That's my unpopular opinion.
Yeah, you ain't never lied about that. No.
Hey,
maybe my opinion is unpopular, but I tend to disagree with you on that. I'm not saying Kevin Durant is going to be the savior for Houston. I'm not nowhere will I say that he's not the same guy, but I still think he can move around. He can do some things. He can have influence and emphasis in certain spurts. Right? I believe that. So when you think about what else they did as far as their roster is concerned, they let Jalen Green go. A lot of people are like, oh my God, what are you doing? But you pick up Dorian Finney-Smith, who really can be a trooper and helping them out that way. They re-signed Steven Adams. You re-signed Jeff Green. You picked up, guess who came back home? Clint Capella. Are you serious? So here's what I'm saying. I'm not saying these are guys that are just going to knock it down and take over. You re-sign Fred VanVleet too. But I think collectively they come together. The one thing that they were missing last year was they played great defense, but they could not get a bucket. And to me, the way that this team is put together now, it reminds me of Toronto when they signed Kawhi Leonard. So Kevin Durant comes there. A lot of guys don't have to have that pressure on them trying to be the main guy. We hadn't even talked about Mr. Thompson, right? So you add all these things together with a brilliant coach, a guy that knows how to win. He knows better and whatnot. You put that together. I think Houston, I'm not saying they're going to win it all. I think they're going to be better than what they were because I believe. Go ahead. You want to say something?
And I think they got rid of Dylan Brooks, which
that's
a good move. I do give them a salute on that. They had to get rid of him.
Yeah, they sent him in the trade with Jalen Green over to Phoenix. But with all that being said, you think about the coach, the way he's able to come in and put all these guys together. He's had that talent before, like when he was in Boston. This guy's a really good coach. And you put that together and they come in, they play real hard and trying to get a bucket and understanding now that some of these role players don't have to feel like the pressure's on them, right? Like they were looking late in this. Let's think about it. And we didn't even talk about Sengun, right? Late in the playoffs, they were looking for Thompson to kind of lead them because Green was struggling. Yeah. That shouldn't happen. That guy's young. He was doing what he could, but you need to have more than that. And I think that's where with this collective group of people, they're going to do real well from that standpoint. Two other teams real quick. Charlotte, I think Charlotte did well. You got rid of some pieces. You picked up Trey Mann. You picked up Spencer Dinwiddie. Mason Plumlee, one of my favorite dudes of all time. I love that Plumlee family. They don't come in. They don't talk. They just go to work. That blue collar is what you need. Guys that bang, because you already got Miller over there, you got Ball. So now you're playing with a great supporting cast. You just need people that's gonna be have that dog in them, right? DAWG and play real hard and work hard. And then the stars kind of realize, all right, yeah, this is cool. Now I can just play my role without feeling like I got to drop 40 every time we play somebody every night. So I like that too. And one other team I would say I thought did pretty well is Detroit. I really liked Detroit last year. I like what they're doing from the standard of them picking up Karis LeVert. And maybe because he's from Ohio, that's my guy. But I like the way he plays and what he does in his reserve role. And the other thing, too, which I was surprised by, they did the sign and trade with Miami where they picked up Duncan Robinson. Duncan Robinson can shoot that jumper and just different. So I think that adds to what they already had. And I think that's what you're going to find out to me in these trades. The teams that are able to add some pieces in regards to reserve players, some role players like Denver I mentioned before, those type of teams that can get better collectively as a unit are going to do better. And I think that's what, when I was really looking at this, I was like, oh, yeah, that fits for this guy. And I think that's what I say about Houston. Houston, you don't need to be great on Houston. You just need to do your job, do the hard work. They got enough young players where they can keep it moving. I like Jalen Green, but I think they were asking him to do a lot that he wasn't ready for in his career.
So I got two before we go to the Lakers buyout. Devin Booker. Phoenix is doing a fire sale. Knicks, go get Devin Booker. Don't lose anything. Go get Devin Booker. Trade some, future draft picks. Get Devin Booker. You need a dog like that. Also, Chicago giving up Ball to Cleveland, I think might be a thing that Cleveland will need to push them over the hump as far as a point guard. I always thought a healthy Ball is one of the best point guards in the league as far as getting people in positions to score and helping teams win. Before he got hurt with the Bulls, with Levine and the dude that went to Sacramento, oh my God, those three were killing it. And then when he got hurt, it just shut the whole thing down. The Bulls were on their way. So with him being healthy, he said he was in Fiji when he found out he was traded to Cleveland. So, he was like 3 o'clock in the morning. He was getting all these text messages. So I think that might be a good piece for Cleveland. Let's go to the selling of the Lakers, about $10 billion. Jeannie Buss, what do you think about this particular selling of the Lakers? Because this seemed to be a trend where Cuban sells his portion to, in Dallas. Charlotte, Michael Jordan sells his portion. A lot of teams are doing this. Is it a trend or something else going on, bro?
Well, as you said earlier, I want to have probably the unpopular opinion, and people are going to say, the hell's wrong with you? How do you come up with this? It's very simple. When you think outside the box, you come up with a number of different things. I understand that even Boston, the majority of owners in Boston sold that team as well. So people are saying it's a trend. But my problem is $10 million, billion dollars, not say million, billion is a lot of money. And yeah, it was huge. So for Jeannie Buss and the family to sell it to Mark Walter for 10 billion is astronomical. But my question is, or the thing point I'm gonna make is, that's a big number. But whenever the Lakers would be sold, it's gonna be a big number. It's the Lakers. It is the Lakers. So with that being said, I'm asking, why now? Whenever you make the deal, they bought Dr. Jerry Buss bought the Lakers back in '79 for $67 million. $67 million. Now the Buss family will also retain a minority share of 15%. And they're gonna have Jeannie Buss still hanging around, kind of doing some things from whatnot. But the other group will be making the executive decisions. But $10 billion. But here's the thing. Jeannie Buss was around with the Lakers back in '79 when her dad bought the team. That was Magic's first year coming in. And she basically, you watch some stuff, allegedly, she was begging her dad to let her be part of the group and make some decisions. And he was like, no, you need to go to school and do whatever else you're going to do. She's like, no, Dad, I want to be part of this thing. And she's been with him, her dad, from the ground up when he had this dream, when everybody thought he was crazy. A lot different than her other 5 siblings, right? She's been the one. She's been right in the mix when Magic first came in. But my question is this, or I'll say this. They've had this team for over 4 decades, right? Like 46 years. And I don't think it's always never been about the money because they've always won championships throughout whatnot. I don't think it's been about the money. Dr. Jerry Buss loved the Lakers. That's why he bought them. And once they started winning, you go, okay. But here's my thing. So think about it from this standpoint. Under the Buss regime, the Lakers have won 11 titles in total, right? And I know you're going to turn your face. 11 titles, right?
10.
Tomato, you do the math. However, they won 5 in the 80s with the Magic Johnson Showtime Lakers, right? They won 3 straight, 2000, 2002, Shaq and Kobe under the direction of Phil Jackson. They won back-to-back titles, 2009, 2010 with Kobe Bryant, Paul Gasol, and Lamar Odom. Then they suffered a 10-year drought before they secured the questionable one in the bubble with LeBron in 2020 and a highly motivated Anthony Davis, who they acquired in that offseason. And so I said, okay, let me look at it. And then the acquisition of Luka, right? And when Luka came over, most people were like, man, this is it. They're going to win the championship. They set up. Some thought they were serious contenders. But the void in the middle and some defensive shortcomings saw them get bounced in the first round by Minnesota. And if it had not been Minnesota, they perhaps would have been bounced by Golden State. They probably would have played Golden State. But with all that being said, so now the Lakers are in the midst of a 4 or 5 year drought of not winning the championship. And you look at the roster, you got Asian LeBron, you're missing that force in the middle, Luka's fitness issues, and you go out and you say, hey, we need a center. And you go out and you get DeAndre Ayton. And is he a basketball player? Is he a guy that makes it happen? Yeah, I mean, he's a guy that, does he deserve to be in the NBA? Yes. But when you say great centers, is his name going to ever come up? I don't think so. So even if we get DeAndre Ayton, you go out and get Rui Hachimura, you got Rui Hachimura, Austin Reeves, right? And some other, and connect even. I really believe that if they went through this roster, particularly after making the Luka trade, and they may never ever say it, that Jeanie Buss looked at that situation and go, I don't think we can win, man.
It's not going to happen. It's really not going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, and don't get me wrong, they're getting off LeBron and they found their next superstar. And I ain't going to get into the race car because I can really say something, but I ain't going to say that.
Say it.
No, because Luka, I don't even want to make it about that. I'm going to make Luka as a superstar. We can get into something else, conspiracy theories. I'm not going to do that. Luka is going to be the face of the Lakers for a long time to come. And I think still, with that being said, with the team that they have right now, unless they make some other moves, I don't think they're ready. I think Jeanie Buss saw that and said, you know what? Yeah. We got 10 million. Look, we got 10 million. It's $10 billion, my bad. We got the 6 Buss children said, you know what? We need to go and cash on that. Make it right. I'm serious. So it's like, hey, Dad would not have a problem.
This is as high as it's gonna go.
Yeah, Dad would be like, well, everybody, Luka gonna be okay. I'll take nothing away from Luka. But if you really believe in Luka Doncic as being a leader and what you're able to do, after 46 years, you just up and sell the team?
Yeah.
Nah, bruh.
Here's what I think. I think they reached their ceiling. And as far as they're gonna go, and and Jeanie Buss, getting up in age, and as far as we're gonna go.
Yeah.
Let's ride out of here. This is the 10 billion. That's great. It's Dad will be proud. I think it's also a way of not ruining the relationship between her and LeBron because they seem to have a great relationship. The new owner just came in and said, "Listen, we're not having all this drama. this year. So he's taking a shot at LeBron, like, you and your son, you got to go. Bronny don't know what to do. He's like, he didn't even accept the option. Like, what are you doing, bro? That's free money. I mean, you've been stealing. So, and LeBron doesn't know what to do, but the owner has his idea of what he wants to do. And I love the statement by Devin Booker, who said, you guys think you got a prize in Ayton? Good luck with that. Good luck with that, because you got a guy who can't stay on the court. The guy's not going to give you much on the court. And it's almost like, them making moves. Okay, we're going to solidify the middle. But if I had to take Ayton and Gobert, as much as I don't like Gobert, I got to go with Gobert. I got to go with Gobert. With this one, the lesser of two evils, But I just see it as, we need to end this kind of love affair with LeBron. He's 40 years old. We don't want to tear up our relationship with him. And so you do it. Here, you're the new guy. You're going to come in and you're going to have your hatchet. You're going to change the team the way you want. And I keep getting on the 11 championships. I call it 10 because we had this argument before. And Alex Caruso proved my point when OKC won the championship. And he said, man, I finally got a real championship now. I was like, I started to call you at that particular point. Even the players don't realize that wasn't a real championship. That was a bubble season. It was to entertain the fans, to keep the money flowing in the NBA. But even Alex Caruso said, listen, I got a legitimate championship now. Y'all can't tell me nothing. So
and I'm with you on that. I mean, I agree with you. I can see what you're saying, but there's a lot of teams that would like to have that bubble championship. So I hear what you're saying. Like I told you, it's like people talking about, oh, I don't like this car. I finally got my real automobile. People don't have a car like shit. I'll take it. Everybody thinks they just want to drive. You talking about somebody that never had a car before.
Yeah.
I want a car. But the new owner, Mark Walter, has had success with the Dodgers. He owns the Dodgers and some other things too. And Magic loves him and swears by him. And that's great. And they think he's going to try to bring success back to the Lakers. And maybe Luka was the new superstar that they look forward to having over there. And LeBron is pretty much up. And they're saying they're trying to find out ways to get rid of LeBron, if that's the truth. But at the end of the day, it comes down to this. And I said this before, and I'll put this in my article too. That inquiring minds have to wonder if the great Jeannie Buss, after 46 years, 40 plus years, saw the writing on the wall regarding a decline in the situation as the franchise is concerned, the roster and players and whatnot, and decided it was in her family's best interest to take the $10 billion and run away fast.
Yep. Because to me, they have gone as high as they can go at this particular point. And now, especially when they got Ayton, this is rebuilding at this particular point. This is rebuilding, and we're going to hand it over to the new ownership. And like, you do it the way you want to do it. We're done with kind of rebuilding and trying to keep the Laker brand going. And I'm pretty sure she talked to Phil Jackson too. I don't know if they still have a relationship, but I'm pretty sure Phil's like, listen, it was a good ride, let it go.
And allegedly, you like, so wait a minute, you telling me? Look, so you telling me? Allegedly, you telling me you think bringing in Ayton is gonna solve all your problems? And LeBron don't want to play no more, and his son is gonna take a while. Yeah. How much you say? Not 10 billion? Yeah, go make that deal.
All right, man. Been hearing news about the WNBA, and they're adding 3 more teams, or they added 3 more teams. And I was talking to Pop about it last week. I'm like, I just don't see it. They're constantly losing money. I don't think I've watched the WNBA game this season. I'm really not. It really doesn't, get to me right now because, it's the summertime and sports is not, I'm kind of burnt out in sports and I need to recharge a little bit. But they're thinking about walking out. Your thoughts on this, man?
I knew we were going to talk about this, so I started looking up stats, right? And I think I told you the first 10, 12 years or something, like might be more than that. they lost an average of $10 million a year, right? I think it came up to something less, just below $200 million that they lost, just lost. And in the last 5 years, it's even grown. So like last year, they lost, it's supposed to be 50, but it's down to 40. And now you have a star player or a franchise player or a league player that everybody, a lot of people love. She brought eyes on the league. They made some major deals in regards to TV contracts, and that's supposed to help them and whatnot. They're trying to improve it and whatnot. But I think that some of the players, particularly the union, players union, is getting a little ahead of themselves. Now, granted, do you deserve more money because of what you're helping do, or you can say Caitlin Clark did, or whatever, whoever you want to give the credit to. Things are growing, people are showing more interest, for whatever reason, younger crowd, younger players. And some people are in their feelings. You may feel like you deserve more, but you got to realize it's only so much that you're bringing to the table, right? You're not the NBA, and I'm not trying to say that by no gender stuff or nothing. It's all about product and demand. It's all about how much money are you bringing in, is how much money you get.
Basic economics.
Yeah, that's all. It's not none of. I said this 100 times, and I guess I'm saying one more time. There is a reason why this league plays during this time of year. There's not a lot going on. It's almost like their own season besides baseball. If you move this league into a scenario where everything's busy in the fall, in the winter, it's going to be chaos. They're going to lose a lot more money because people are not going to be watching. You just can't compete. It has nothing to do with gender or anything like that. People are locked in NFL football and the sport basketball, college basketball, yeah, women's college basketball.
Yes.
For that fact. So it would be a bad decision, the business decision, to move it. So this is what you got. You're in this area. You're in the space. It's working well for you. I have lately seen more drama between the players than I have about watching the damn games.
Yeah.
It's always this person said this. Well, Caitlin Clark thinks she all this, and she says this. And then you got other players. Player says the three teams that you're bringing in for expansion, who the hell wants to go to Cleveland? This is what the player said. I'm like, we should send to Kansas City. What are you talking about? It's just the whole drama. But my point, getting back to this, the whole thing is, I think they're in a better space than what they were when it started. In the last few years, in a better space for whatever reason. Caitlin Clark, some younger players. There seems to be more of an infusion of newer fans bringing fresh air into the league, of eyeballs watching and maybe attending a certain game. So that means more money, right? But do not think that you have this thing on lock where you can demand certain things so astronomical that you deserve to be paid like the NBA players.
Delusional.
It's not the case. Yeah.
They're delusional.
I'll say this, get off of this. If the WNBA players decide we want what's ours, we want our money, and you don't pay us, we're going to walk out. Unfortunately, if you do that, it may never open doors again.
Do it. Do it. Get a reality check. Do it. Walk out. Walk out and find out how much people really love you and how much people really watching you. Because when I turn on my TV and sports and y'all trying to charge me money to watch the WNBA, I'm not watching it anyway. But you're going to try to charge me. And Major League Baseball is doing the same thing. I'm good with 1 or 2 games a week. That's it. I'm not watching 182 games. And y'all going to charge it? You're delusional. And especially the WNBA. You're delusional. Walk out. Walk out and see where the league. A lot of you are going to be going overseas to play basketball, going somewhere else to play basketball, because the American public is not feeling the WNBA. I'm sorry. It doesn't compete. Walk out. Get the reality check. What money? Where are you getting this money? You're delusional. And then you're adding 3 more teams like that's going to make it better. No, it's not.
Yeah, and then they want to get mad at the 3-on-3 league, right? That Collier and I think it was Breonna Stewart put together, saying that they wanted to be madness between WNBA and the players so they can benefit. These ladies are like, what the hell are you talking about? We just came up with another alternative for you to make more money. All I'm saying is you have to be very careful. Do I think women deserve to get paid what they're worth? Yes. But then again, it's come down when it comes to athletes, but it comes down to the point, understanding what your league is producing, the amount of money that you're producing. Also keeping in mind, which is a lot more than it was before, also keeping in mind the deficit that you incurred previously, the deficit. And the NBA, they think it's the right thing to do. They've been carrying you for a long time before things became a little more popular. You start making a little bit more money. The eyeballs have changed and get more views. But don't ever get it twisted. If you push too hard, or they say you bite the hand that feeds you, you may not get another meal.
Yeah, my buddy sent me something, and I'm trying to find it now, that really relates to this. And at the end of it, he says, "Stay single." Here was it's like a woman requirements for a date. For breakfast, it was a certain amount of money she required. For her hair and nails is a certain amount of money she required from the guy. For lunch, here's what she required you to cash out. For any other miscellaneous stuff, this is what she required. And for dinner, here's the restaurant she wanted to go to, and it came out to this astronomical amount of money that she required just to date her. Not a relationship, just a date. It sounds like the WNBA is like, I want all this stuff. Where is the money coming from, and why do you feel entitled to it? It's a simple, we talked about this earlier, it's a simple equation. It's economics. It's economics. It's not making sense. And it seems like the logical is not in the WNBA's, kind of a sphere. It's not there. Logically, we're not making any money. So why are you demanding, where's this money coming from? And why are you demanding all this stuff when you're not making the money? Your product doesn't make the money that requires the asking price that you want. And it's like it doesn't get through the head. So walk out and really figure it out. When, Angel Reese said, I can't pay my rent, walk out. Walk out and find out that you can't pay your rent because nobody's going to be begging you, knocking at your door saying, come back and play. Come on, please come back and play. Please. We'll pay you this. We'll give you everything you want. There is nothing there. There is nothing there. And I don't understand. I don't understand the logic, but they need a reality check that people aren't watching. I dropped out a couple years ago because of the drama. I don't like the drama. That is where, especially men, we go to sports because we don't want the drama. We don't want to watch the drama. We don't watch Lifetime for a reason. We don't like drama. And we don't like drama in sports. So, you lost that half of the population. A lot of women don't support it because they're not into basketball. They're thinking about getting rid of the Chicago team here because they're not making any money. Economics.
Yep, so true. Economics will come down to. So we'll keep our eyes on that and keep checking on it to see. But wow.
Yeah. Last second shot.
Yep, last second shot. Basketball's over. It's going to be a little, I guess, we're taking a little break from time to time or hiatus before everything start popping up again. And I'm a little saddened when I saw it. I thought the finals could have been better, but in the reality, knowing that we have to wait now for football, I know it's only a few weeks. Can we make it to August? Then football's back.
Oh no, bro.
And we'll be going to they'll be having the training camps and all that other stuff. But I'm sitting there going like, I don't know if I'm gonna make it.
Yeah, this is longer than usual. This is really longer than usual to me. I feel like it's empty. It's really empty.
Look, my throat is closing up. I'm starting trying to breathe. I might have to put out my inhaler. I'm feeling some kind of way. I'm feeling a little recleft. I'm sitting there going like, what am I going to do for the next 5 weeks? Because I'm sitting there going like, We watch WNBA, they make me nervous. So with all that being said, uh, kudos to all of the champions, and I'm gonna try to watch a little bit more baseball now. The Otani and some other things going on, and I try to watch a little soccer, but I try to
Gold Cup
get
has
into
been good. The Gold Cup has been good. I
trying
have.
to get into that a little bit. I've been trying to watch some NASCAR, some other racing
Can't
stuff
do that.
too. But thank goodness for the summer leagues coming up because I need something, man. Because I don't know.
Slim
I
pickings.
think the older I get, the more nervous I get because maybe I need to get a life. But the more and more I think about it, I cannot wait for football to come. I've been looking at college rosters already. I'm looking at the situation, basketball, the whole nine. I love the drama with the NBA free agency and the draft. I love all that because at least kept me going. I was like, it's not gonna be good, but it's good because it's drama. We talking about it. But now it's starting to die down. And I don't know, man. Maybe I need to call somebody because starting to Jones over here a little bit or something. Give me
Yeah,
a second.
I can wait. I'm gonna find some other things to do. And we gotta do something in a few. So we're gonna get off here, because we got a game to win on Monopoly Go. So anyway, my last second shot is we miss wishing Bobby Bonilla happy Bobby Bonilla Day, $1 million every year. And man, I mention it every year. I love what he did. And younger players in the league, you need to strike a deal like this to keep the cash flow going. At least you get one check a year for $1 million to keep it going. And I just love the way he did it. I love hearing the story every time I see it. And happy Bobby Bonilla Day. That's our show. We will see you next time. And maybe I'll watch some old college football games or go to, the Big Ten Network and watch some of those games because I'm feeding for college football right now and basketball. I'll watch some documentaries or something. I got to fill this time in because it's like it's longer than usual, man. I don't understand it, man. But we'll see you next time. Take care. I told you Jon Jones was faking that. 13 days, and he back trying to fight.
Now what happened?
So he retired 13 days ago, about 14 days ago, right?
Yeah.
Big news. Then he sent out a tweet talking about, insinuating that he wants to come back. It just took 13 days. I told you it was a boy.
I agree with you. I mean, I don't say neither one, but hell, it don't surprise me. Fury talking about coming back.
Fury need to stop trying to fight people 3 times. You got your ass kicked.
Fury say he come back and fight your man one more time.
No. Fight Joshua. Fight somebody else. Fight these trilogies aren't working. It's a money grab, bro. It's a money grab. Go fight Joshua. How about that? Go fight people you haven't fought before. How about that? Why you want to fight this guy again? He whooped your ass 2 times. Stop it.
Hey, all I know, Jake Paul better be careful because shit about to get real.
You know what? People were texting me that night about him. And I'm like, that's not boxing. I cover boxing. I cover real fighting. I said, it's rigged. It's fixed. Then they text me back after it happened. Oh, yeah, it's fixed. Need somebody. And then Chavez Jr. got deported a few days after that. Like, what the hell?
Yeah. He probably need that cash. But I know this. He better be very careful because he running his mouth. And my boy's starting to warm up a little bit. He don't want that in his life. I'm talking about Andre Ward.
Yeah, but you know what they were saying? That they're ranking him now.
Yeah, so he gets a shot.
Boxing is, boxing needs to be real careful because you're starting to turn into the WWE. Stop it.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, my problem with that is the fact that you even ranking this dude.
Yeah, stop it.
He deserves not to be. He don't deserve to be ranked, bro.
Stop it.
Because now, like you said, you buying into it. This is the same dude said he wants to fight Tank Davis. Are you fucking kidding me? Tank Davis is 135 pounds. This motherfucker 200 pounds.
Boxing needs to stop. Seriously, because
Yeah.
you're becoming more WWE than you think you
Right.
are, and people are going to start going to UFC MMA because that's where the real fighting is happening. You guys are making a mockery of yourself, and you're letting this dude, him and his brother, make a mockery out of the sweet science. And if they start doing that, I'm done. I'm putting it to the side. I can't watch
I'm
it.
with you. I agree with that too. But I'll say this too. You mentioned about, Jon Jones perspective. First of all, all people know how they do that, go back and forth. The other thing too is when the Lioness said she coming back, that was wasn't gonna retire.
That's what I said. That's what I said. When the Lioness said, "Hey, I need you every time you're on the card with me, I win. So you got to be there."
You know how much money they gonna make off the Lioness and Jon Jones on the same card?
I knew it. I knew
I
it.
would pay for that. I would pay for that.
Yeah.
I would pay for that. The Lioness? Are you kidding? I love her.
Yeah. That's gonna be a show. That's gonna be a show.
Woo! You know how much money they can fight anybody. What I want to see is they ain't gonna do it though. This dude talk about he could beat Jon Jones. Nah, hell with that. Bring Cormier ass out of retirement.
He ain't coming back. Cormier is comfortable.
That's what I want to see. Quit running your mouth. Get your big ass in the ring. Go get some.
He ain't coming back.
Look. Come get. Do you know Jon Jones? He'll come in here and swap like get your ass up. I'll be drug free and I'm gonna whoop your ass.
Cormier like the nice meals, traveling, just sitting there. Nah, he ain't coming. To get back in training, and no. If I was him, I wouldn't do that. I'm comfortable, bro. I'm good.
Like you say, unless you're talking about some real issues, keep my name out your mouth. He do not want that Jon Jones smoke. I mean, I respect Cormier. He's probably one of the best ever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But he ain't had shit for that man.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you just meet your match. And
yeah, he's your kryptonite. When he come in right, you can't mess with him. And then he goes, well, he was on drugs. And you don't have to. I was like, you sound like a sourpuss, a sore loser, bro. Don't do that. Yeah. It's not a good look for you. If the man whooped your ass, like my man said, what were they talking about? Like George Foreman was Frazier's kryptonite.
Yeah.
And people believe that a young Foreman would have done the same thing to Tyson because of similar styles and whatnot too. But yeah, that don't do that. Don't do that. That kryptonite, bro. Some people just got your number. Shit, Ken Norton was a monster for Ali. He just knew certain things about that dude that he probably never beat Ali, but Ali, every time he came out of there, he was like, damn. Bro, this Josh nigga dislocated this shit.
Hit me like this, hit me like that.
Yeah. God damn. He said, I can beat him, but
hit him like that.
Yeah, hit him like that. Yeah.